Let's see. Welcome, everyone. Um, I see. Oh, I see. I'm looking for the panel. I'm looking for who's joining us. There we go. Now I can see you guys. Welcome, everyone. I'm excited to be joining you. Happy New Year. We have got a new year in front of us, and I am excited for 2025. It's a fresh start. It always feels like a good way to I like a clean slate. I like a place that we can really just start the new year with a clean slate. And I just feel this surge of excitement for what's possible in 2025. And if you're tuning in here today, this is your year for a brighter you, for speaking louder, for stepping more boldly into your business and into your voice. And together, we're really leading a new way of doing business where authenticity and wisdom rises above the noise, and we create real impact together. And to me, that's really exciting. I feel like that's the what's possible for us. And so I'm excited to have you guys joining us today. So let's dive in, and welcome to everybody as you're logging on. What I'd love for you to do is put a note into the chat box. Tell us where you're joining from. Tell us what your business is, and I would love to hear from a few of you. I see some great. As I just scrolling through the list of everybody who's joining, it makes me excited for who's in the room. So welcome, everybody. Drop into the chat a little bit about yourself and where you're joining from, and we will dive in. So I'm Cami Gilner, and I am obsessed with helping women entrepreneurs raise up their voice and their visibility and helping them build businesses that they truly love. And I think that's an important part of this. I want you to have time prosperity and wealth prosperity. And that means really finding the systems that work in our business to attract the right clients into our business, what I call our soul clients, the clients that we most desire to have in our business. I've been working with women entrepreneurs for over 15 years, and I lead masterminds and I coach women. I've got one of the longest standing podcasts for women entrepreneurs, My Extraordinary Women Radio. We're going to hit 8 years this year. That's pretty exciting to me. And it's in the top 1.5% of all podcasts. And FeedSpot named it to the top 10 women entrepreneur podcast at number 6 list last year. And so let's push that number up a little bit. If you're not tuning into Extraordinary Women Radio, I would love to have you join us. I just posted a great one just yesterday. It was the one to kick off the new year. So it's about the big moves that you might be wanting to make in 2025. So it's a great one to go listen to. And my Extraordinary Women Ignite conference is also one of the longest standing conferences in North America for women entrepreneurs. So I love helping women raise up their voices and their visibility. I've helped women get their messages out in bigger ways, and that's exciting to me. And what I'm going to be sharing with you today are some of the ways that I've been able to grow my business. I've been able to sell millions from the stage and online, and really been able to take. And what I'm going to be sharing with you is some of the things that I have done in my business that can help you do the same thing. So let's dive in. To start with, this is part of the podcast that I launched yesterday, 5 key power moves to lead and prosper in 2025. So I'm going to start with that. And when I think about our business world, I think it's changing significantly. And those of us, we have an opportunity to get ahead of the curve and be the ones who rise by really changing up how we're doing marketing and how we're showing up in our businesses. And it's not about doing more. And that's something I really want to express, is it's not about doing more. It's about being smarter with the way you work. And it's about amplifying your voice. It's definitely not about playing small. It's like, this is a year to get your voice out in bigger ways and building deeper and aligned relationships and creating real meaningful impact with your work. So there's 5 power moves that I talked about in this podcast and I'm just going to touch on these. They're not just trends. They're real game changers for us as women entrepreneurs. So I'm going to start with the first one that I talk about in that podcast. And 2025 is a year to really amplify your voice and stand out as a leader. It's we're being called for bold, authentic voices to rise above the noise. There's so much noise out there, and we'll get into how you break through that noise as we get into some of the teachings today. But I want you to think about what it is that you stand for and what's the message that only you can deliver. And it's about being real and consistent and bold and sharing your unique message and being a leader in your voice, right? Just really owning your authority, your brand authority. And it takes time and it takes consistency, but it starts with just showing up and being visible and owning your expertise. And every single one of you on this call has wonderful expertise that you're going to be taking out into the world in 2025. And that's a really important piece of it, is like finding your voice and standing out as a leader. The second one is unlocking the new marketing paradigm. The marketing landscape is more complex than ever. And I think that what makes it more so is that the buyers are just more discerning, and that their journey to trusting who they engage with and who they buy from, they are doing a lot more research. They are taking their time to figure out who they want to work with. So here's some stats that I've come across that I think are really interesting. Buyers are now consuming 7+ hours of content before making a decision, or sometimes before even reaching out. And they engage with your brand in at least 11 different touch points. So they're consuming a whole lot of time of your teachings, of your trainings, and then they're engaging with your brand at, all these different touch points across 4 different, on average, 4 different platforms or channels before they reach out to buy. So just something to really keep in mind is like how important it is that we're building relationships that people know, love, and trust who you are. And we're creating an ecosystem where people can keep coming back and getting more of what you teach. And so that means creating bingeable long form content like podcasts, like events, like speaking or videos. And finding the one that really works for you. You don't have to do all of those. You find the area that really works for you, and you build off of that. But you want people to be able to come and binge on you, to be able to find you, and to be able to go deeper into the work that you teach. So that's how you start to build this know, love, and trust ecosystem. The next one is building deeper aligned connections. And that means that we really stop letting connections fade. And I'll say I was guilty of this a few years ago, where people would come into my community and there was, they would just kind of get lost in the conversation. And, if you're on this call today, that I have really taken care to stay in connection with the people who come into my communities. You are seeing more of that. You're seeing me show up in your DMs. You're seeing me show up, inviting you into new things, so that there's this way that you get to go deeper with me. And so that's something that we really shifted in 2024, was we stopped letting connections fade. And so those personal touches, and what's really surprised me is that they say thank you for staying in touch with them, and saying, oh gosh, you've got an event coming up, I want to be there. So that's really been my probably the biggest joy of really turning that dial up on our connections, is just how you guys have all said, thanks for reaching out and being in touch, because I think that's what I want to do. And I want to really get to know you and your businesses. So here's the challenge I give you guys today, is what systems can you put in place to nurture your connections in 2025? We built a Trello board. That was one of the things, and we're not going to really dive into that today, but we built a Trello board so we know who we're staying in connection with. And, it might just be something as simple as a notebook that you're staying in touch with the people who want to know more about your work, or you could be putting notes into your CRM. I mean, there's all kinds of ways you can do that. But, I want you thinking about what are the ways that you can start to stay in better touch with the people who have made an effort to reach out and connect with you. The next one is redesigning your client journey for greater impact. So your clients aren't the same as they were a few years ago. Their desires, their challenges have evolved, and the way you serve them should be evolving as well. And so what I'll be sharing with you today is, how do you map out their journey to your business? Where are they starting? How are you guiding them to where you want them to be? And you're creating experiences that not only solve their problems, but spark inspiration and transformation. And when you truly understand what excites your clients, you can deliver offerings that make them feel deeply seen, supported, and ready to take action. And we'll definitely be diving into this today. And then the fifth item here that I talked about in this podcast for the new year is really getting into conversations. Conversations spark growth, they spark trust, they spark opportunity. And whether it's reconnecting with a past client, sparking a collaboration with somebody that is a power partner that you want to be working with, or engaging with influencers in your industry, meaningful conversations open doors. And so in 2024, I saw this happen through my roundtable series, and we're going to continue those in 2025, where we were bringing together other experts in a field and in a topic, and we'd have these great conversations. And so that's one way we were having conversations. Another one was just staying in touch with all of you. And I think you probably have seen that in how we're reaching out and doing personal outreach. How am I reaching out and having conversations with all of you to get to know your businesses better? So if you were to commit to 5 meaningful conversations on a daily basis, I promise you, your business will really shift and start to change. And there's all different ways that you can do that. You can do that with people that are prospects. You can do it with influencers. So just keep that in mind, is that conversations create, and it's one of the simplest way to really create more growth in your business is through conversations that are opening up to new possibilities. So keep that in mind as you're working with this. Okay. But here's what I see. I get to speak to hundreds, if not thousands, of women entrepreneurs every year. And I love the conversations I get to have. And at the same time, what I see is that women entrepreneurs are really amazing at what they do, yet they aren't getting the leads that they want. That marketing and sales and lead generation can be challenging, and they struggle to even articulate their value. So today, what I want to do is really take you into a space where you can start to really be sure that you're articulating exactly what your clients need so that they understand what you do. Also, I see that entrepreneurs who are getting lost in all the noise, we get hit with between 6,000 to 10,000 messages a day. And that's a lot coming at us. So how do we stand out amongst the noise, right? How do we reach more people? How do we really find the marketing approaches that, because I'm guessing you tried a lot of different marketing tactics. Some of them have worked, some of them have not. And what you're wanting to do is get to more yeses. And that's what I'm going to be sharing with you today, is like, how do you get to more yeses? And then the other thing is that I see people working harder than they ever have. And it goes back to this, we get hit with all these different, you have to do all these things to be a great marketer in your business. And what I'm going to ask you to do is to simplify that. And this is a big one because, we see so many different things. This is the way you need to do something, and that's the way you need to do something. And if you find clarity in what your pathway is in your marketing approaches, you can start to create a system so that the systems are built within your company. You build those systems, and then you start to tweak them. You make them better each time you approach them. So this is how we really start to build businesses that are scalable. And this is how we kind of break through and create a marketing approach that will work for each of you in your business. So the big goal is really to create a reliable marketing and nurturing sales system, what I call is that way that we nurture the people who are coming into our communities, that generates consistent leads and sales from your soul clients. And I just want to touch base on soul clients. Soul clients means the clients that are your ideal clients, the clients that are exactly who you want to have in your business. Like if you think of your very favorite client, and I know we shouldn't have favorite clients, but think of your favorite client. And how do what is is it about that person that makes them just perfect for your business and what you teach and what you offer? And that's what we're going to be getting into. So that's what a soul client is. And today I'm going to show you how to attract more of them into your business. So this is one of my clients, Shelly Johnson, and she talked about in this what she wrote here. She says, "I'm playing bigger, and my revenue has grown by 220%. I have deeper clarity in my customer journey, enabling me to fine-tune my messaging and brand and better serve them with high-value executive coaching and recruiting services. I'm taking on big stages and landing clients while doing so." So this is the work we did in this customer journey work that I'm going to be sharing with you today. This was some of the results that she had. So my goal today is to uplift every woman in this room. And I want to also earn the right to continue this journey with you into the new year as your guide and mentor. So I'm passionate about lifting women's voices up and helping you be seen and be heard and create marketing systems that work. I've been doing marketing for a long time. I had 20 plus years in the marketing as a VP of marketing and branding in the corporate world. And I've been an entrepreneur for over 15 years. So, I've been doing marketing for a long time, and I love marketing. I think it's a lot of fun. And that's the energy that we want to bring to our marketing is like, how do we bring the energy of loving what we're doing to attract clients into our business? And that's why you get to, fine tune exactly what's the ways you want to be. I mean, there's so many different ways. And today I'll be offering up some things that you can think about, and you can say, okay, I'm going to pick and choose one from different parts of the marketing journey, if you will, and not do everything, but find the ones that you want to do most. So that's where we're going. A little bit about my work. I work in 3 pillars. I call them the Soul+Strategy pillars of prosperity. And we're not going to go through all of this today because we don't have that much time. We're going to very, very much focus our efforts on voice and visibility today. But I think it's worthwhile just talking about this framework for a moment, because I think it's important to understand that this is the breadth of my work. We start with vision, and it's a vision of the impact that you want to make with your work. I know each and every one of you like to make an impact with your work. And then it's also the impact that you want to make on your life. And that is very much about, you think about what's the work-life balance that you want to create. And so underneath the vision, we always have the right packaging, the right pricing, the right work-life balance that you're wanting to create in vision. So that's one of my pillars that I work with my clients on. The second one is voice, and we're going to go deeply into voice today. And voice means your customer journey. So really getting into the depth of your customer journey so you can speak your client's love language. It also means finding your thought leadership messaging, that message that you stand for, that you put a stake in the ground and what you stand for. And then also building your brand from the inside out. So that's the 3 ways that we will get into voice, and we will cover some of this, most of that today. In fact, I think we'll cover all of that today. And then we'll get into visibility. And visibility is how once you have these other 2 pieces in place, you have the right packaging, the right pricing, you have clarity in your message, then it's like, how do you go get visible? And as you get visible, that is very much about, it might be stages, it might be podcasting, it might be videos. It's all these different ways that you can get visible. And then it's also about the marketing approaches that you're attracting clients into your business with. And the third part of that one is very much about the way you're engaging people as they're coming into your community and keeping engaged with them. So those are the Soul+Strategy pillars of prosperity. And where we're going to focus today is on these 2, is on voice and visibility. So who is ready to dive into your soul client's journey to you? Drop a me into the chat box. Let's hear from you. Who is ready to really start to get to know your clients better, to understand how to speak your client's love language, so they think that, they really feel that you're speaking to them. So our client's journey to you is, we're going to meet your clients where where they're at. We're going to really join, it's like where they're at in this time, all the things that, so Sam, I just saw what you said. My slides are super close up on my end. Not sure if that's happening to others, but wanted you to know. I think you can adjust that, Sam. I think you can move things around on your screen, especially if you go up to the upper right corner with some different options. So try that. And so let's dive in. So you're going to meet your customers where they're at with the stories that they've got and all that's there for them. You're going to create messages that start to matter, that that really speak to them, and you're going to build that know, love, and trust to get them to a yes to you. So meeting your customers where they're at and speaking your client's love language. This is when you do this well, what happens here is you build a brand that's impossible to ignore, right? It's definitely impossible to ignore. And Cheryl, I see that it's different with your business. You're not a coach, but these tools, these approaches are definitely, doesn't need to be a coach, right? It's definitely, these tools are going to really help you think through your marketing in a different way. So keep that in mind. So you're going to build this brand that people know you what you stand for. Once you get into your customer journey deeply, what you'll find is you can double and triple the lifetime value of your clients because you know what they need next. You have really built that pathway. It's like you're speaking their love language, and then you start to work with them and you know what they need next. And that's really an important part of understanding your customer journey. And then the third value of diving into your customer journey like this is it really simplifies how it simplifies how you market, because your messaging becomes consistent. You're leveraging consistent messaging over and over again. And then you are also getting really good at the types of marketing tools that you decide to bring into your business. And you start to build processes that simplify things. So yes, it takes time to set that up in the beginning, but that investment in time is going to really help you simplify and give you more white space on your calendars in the long run. And that's what's really important here. So this is not next level marketing. There's nothing elementary about customer journey work. So when I've heard people say, oh, I know who my ideal client is, and I know I know what they need. And I can tell you, 15 years into my business, I spend a lot of time focusing on what my customers need right now. And it changes every single year what my clients need. So I'm always listening. There's a skill set on, this customer journey work of listening. Is like speaking to your ideal clients and listening to what they're going through and really starting to evolve from that perspective. And when we understand their stories, we understand we understand the story that your ideal client is having right now. What's keeping them awake right now? What are the stories they say over and over in their minds? It's about getting into the minds and hearts of our soul clients and understanding their biggest desires and the emotions that are keeping them, for example, if they're stuck, or the emotions of the situation that they're in. It's really getting into what they're going through in this moment when they're coming to you. They might have false beliefs about their own abilities. They might believe that, yeah, that will work for that person, but it won't work for me. So it's really getting into understanding how they're struggling and how you can help them through this place. So you understand their story, you get into their desired transformation that they want, and then you get to this yes to you. But once you have a deeper understanding around this is when you can start to build your offerings to serve this journey. You can build your marketing and your content to serve this journey, and you can build your sales conversations to serve this journey. And that's a big change. So I'm going to give you this page here, and I recommend you take a screenshot of it, because this is one that you can come back to and you can spend a lot of time journaling on these questions. I'm going to go through them pretty quickly here, just for a time's sake. But what I highly recommend is you come back to this and spend some time journaling on all 8 of these questions. So what do your customers care about? What is it, what's top of mind for them? What are they desiring? What are the roadblocks that they're up against? What are those challenges they have? What's keeping them awake at night? What do they need to know that they don't already know? So for example, I often use the example on this one, someone who works in branding, for example, if you are somebody who works with your clients with branding, a lot of people might think that branding is just a logo and the color palette. Well, as anyone who works in branding knows, there's a much more depth to what branding means. So someone who works in branding is going to want people to know that there's a journey to getting to your clients. So that's an example of that. What can't they see for today that they'll see after working with you? So that's something to think about. It's like they may not even be able to see through the clouds and the noise that's in front of them because they're kind of stuck in a place of living. Like, for example, where I used to see this when I originally did some life coaching when I started my business 15 years ago. A lot of times women were executive women who were working really hard, and they couldn't even see a possibility for something different than what they were doing. And so that's an example of that. So do your clients have something that they can't see that you can see for them? What false beliefs do they have? And I hit on that one a little bit earlier. It's like, for example, that might work for somebody else, or I believe that, that this is just not going to work for me. So they might have some false beliefs around that. What do they need to believe in order to say yes to working with you? They need to believe that you can help them through to where they want to get to. And then what conversations are they having right now? What are the conversations that keep going over and over on in their heads? So do this work. If you do this work, if you spend an hour journaling on these questions, one thing, it's going to give you all kinds of content to work with for 2025 and your socials and your blogs or whatever you're doing, your podcasts, that sort of thing. But if you get into this customer journey, you find that clarity on who's my soul client, what do they desire, what do they need, and then really do this deep work, you're gonna walk away with some really good tools for 2025, and it will be a foundation for you, really solid foundation. And then a couple things to think about as after you've written that is, what's the most expensive problem that you solve? Really declare that, because you need to know what that expensive problem is. So it's likely tied to wealth or health or self growth. It's likely tied to one of those three, and you want to lead your marketing in one of those. And oftentimes you're going to go more than you'll cover more than one of those, but you need to decide what's the number one area that you solve, and that's how you really help your clients is attract them in, is become known for that space that you serve. And then what is the desired transformation that you help your clients with? So what is it that you help your clients through? And then what are the results that you help your clients get? So those are some questions for you. Just jot those all down. What's the most expensive problem that you solve? What is the desired transformation that you help your clients with? The results I help my clients with are. When you answer all of those questions in depth, you're going to have so much content to be able to work with, and it's going to help shape what you speak to in your marketing, on your website. As you find more clarity in that, that's going to be really, really helpful for you. And then this is Kathleen June. She has been a client actually for several years with me. She says, with a deeper insight into my ideal clients, I've tailored my offerings more precisely. This has allowed me to set higher rates and enjoy a surge in repeat customers, ultimately tripling her income. So this is that way that, because you know what your clients need, this allows you to do this in a different way, to do your marketing in a different way. So now let's talk about creating messages that matter. So really igniting the leader in you. I'm going to take a quick sip here. I'm also going to check the chat box. So when we think about the customer journey, one thing I didn't say about that is that you are having conversations with your ideal clients every single day. And you can, as you're having those conversations, you can start to listen, right? You can start to listen. Thank you, Sam. I appreciate that. You can start to really listen to what your clients are saying. You can add on to those, you can add on to your, what you're writing here. And one thing I didn't add to this was really listen to what your clients are desiring. And I think when I talk about ways of marketing that are old, is the marketing that is like rubbing the salt in the wound, focusing on scarcity and pain and all that sort of thing. You have to understand the pain. You have to understand what the challenges your clients are going through, but you don't have to craft all of your marketing in that space. And I'm big on this, is like really speak to the desires your clients are having. And when you do that, what you're doing is you're helping your clients see more for themselves than they can see right now. And there's expansion in that. And that is next level marketing as well. It's like really, as you start to get all of this information tied from your customer journey, it's like, what is it that you want your clients to see for themselves that they can't see right now? And when you speak to your customers' desires and speak their love language, what they're really desiring in their, in their life, in their business, whatever that is that you're helping them with, that's where the breakthroughs really come through. So think about that as if you go look at your, your website, as you look at on your sales pages, that sort of thing. Yes, you can start with a question or two around the pain point, but then really shift this over into a much more positive, this is what's possible for you. And I know that Dr. Sam is on here, and we worked on a sales page just recently where she kind of follows some of the older traditions of, staying in the pain, and we switched it up, and the energy of it changed significantly. So it's fun to be able to see that shift and how people are drawn into it. You're going to be drawing in different levels of people into your programs and your businesses. And yeah, so I love that. Thanks, Sam, for shouting that out. Okay, so now let's dive into creating messages that matter. And so this is still voice, and we're starting to get into really creating that message that matters, and becoming known as the go-to leader in your space, standing out with your original thought leadership messaging that only you can own, that is unique to you. And it gets people to stop, think, and act and do differently. And so this is, what we've been talking about to date has been very the marketing level messaging. This is going up a level. This is going into the thought leadership message that positions you as a leader in your field. And so that you become that sought after expert to speak, to guest podcast and more. Like people are looking for you, right? People are looking out for you. So if the whole world could hear one message from you, this is where we're going to go to, right? It's like, I want you to start thinking about, if the whole world could hear one message from you, what would that be? What is it that you want to stand for? And, this is how we start to make a difference with our voice. I'm going to give you some examples here. So Brene Brown we know that she stands for courage, right? You can choose courage or you can choose comfort. You cannot have both. So we know what she stands for. As we look at Gabby Bernstein, one of my favorites, I let go of my need to control and allow the universe to do her thing. So we know she's all about the universe has your back. Malala, the girls should learn history and then make it, right? And so we know that she's all about educating young girls. My message is women's wisdom is the medicine that our earth needs. So this is one that I have talked about for a long time. I believe this will change our wisdom. The way we show up in business is changing how our world runs and operates. And that's why I'm such a believer in raising up women's voices. This is one of my clients, Dana Kirchmar, And I love hers. What if we stopped asking girls if they're good at math and instead started asking what problems they want to solve? So Dana is a rocket scientist, and she is on a mission to change the number of women at leadership positions in the aerospace and aviation industry. So she's wanting more girls to come into the world of aviation and aerospace. So this is an area that she works in. Shelley Shell is a financial planner. When women invest in companies they believe in, our world will change. Antoinette Thompson, midlife isn't a crisis. It's an opportunity for profound momentum and impact, right? So these are high level messaging that stands above stands over our marketing messaging. And they're powerful ways for us to really put a stake in the ground for what we stand for. Viveka von Rosen, women's words change the world. Renee Everett Dar, who is helping leaders and companies heal and transform their organizations. Hers is when we heal ourselves, we will heal our system. So she's very much about executives healing themselves before and that will heal the corporate systems that are out there that aren't working right. Thanks, Joy. I love this, that you're liking these, because these are what I want you to get to. I want you to get to what that one message for the world is, what it is that you want to stand for. So here's a couple of things as you, and these take time to develop. So give yourself space and time to create these. But what this is it's your opinion. It's memorable and it's repeatable. So all of those were great examples of really short snippets that people can, that they will remember that. I mean, I remember Dana Kirchmar's off the top of my head all the time. I can say it, what if we stopped asking girls if they're good at math and started asking them what problems they want to solve? It's memorable and it's repeatable. You're putting a stake in the ground for what you want to stand for and where you want to create change. And you get people to stop, think, and act and do differently. What this is not is a marketing tagline or statement. And this is something that I see people go to really quickly. They like, well, my tagline is this. And it's like, no, you want this to be repeatable. You want this to be a statement that you might be in a conversation that you would just say, what if we stopped asking girls if they're good at math? And that becomes a conversation. So you want it to be very conversational. You want it to be a quote, or you do not want it to be a quote from someone else, because this is all about you. This is about your wisdom, your knowledge, your expertise that you're bringing to the table. It's not an inspirational saying, and it's not a common statement that you hear all the time, like, find your purpose, live your life. It's just too common. You want people to go, you want them to stop. You want them to go, I never thought about it in that way. So this one message for the world is really powerful when you land that, because then you can start to really build a content strategy that once you're speaking to your clients through your customer journey language that you've worked with, but you're also finding something that you stand for that is uniquely yours, that gets people to stop and think and act and do differently. So an important part of our strategy around this. And it just starts with these questions, all right? What is it you want to stand for? If you have one thing to say to the world, what would it be? Give yourself a lot of space and time to create this. What I can tell you is every single one of those on my clients, it takes some time to land on those. Sometimes it's great to do it in collaboration with someone else, because you can speak and somebody can hear it and hear what you're saying, and they can pull those words out. And so brainstorming, when we do this at our Soul Speaks from the Stage, and when I do it with my clients, we pair up and we put people in community so that they're working together on that conversation. We do it at my Ignite conference as well. And sometimes they'll get pieces of it, and sometimes they'll totally land it. If they're just getting pieces of it, they might just need to go away and hang it on their mirror for a few weeks and let it be there. So give yourself patience with that one, but it's really a good one to work with. Okay. And then once you have that, you've got your one message for the world in the middle, and then you can start to really build out a communications message box that is, what are the things that support this, right? That really helps your clients, get that support this message. What do you want people to know? Maybe their stats, maybe their stories, maybe there are different elements of your work. And you start to really narrow this down to a framework like this. And from that, then you can start to say, okay, this leads into, and what's beautiful about this is this starts to lead into what you would, if you were going to go, say, for example, be on a guest podcast show. And what are the questions you want that host to ask you? So you could look at this and you could say, okay, this is a story I want someone to ask me during this podcast interview. And so you start to come up with questions that always lead people to this area of expertise that you've got. And this is the tool that we use to build out our podcast one sheets, to build out our speaker sheets, to build out, this is a way that you're getting your voice out there by really leveraging the clarity that you have and what it is that you want to stand for. So we always start with this message box, and then we move to some of these other things so that your podcast interviews become exactly what they're asking you the exact questions you want, and your stage talks are really getting to the core point that you want people to stop and think and act and do differently. So it's a really fun process. And this is something, just by the way, this communication message box came from work that I did 20 years ago in the corporate world, when I had very large budgets with Ogilvy PR, and we took about 150 people through some expert source training where they became experts in their field and they were developing what their message stood for. So this is work that I've been able to integrate into my work for women entrepreneurs. And I love being able to take that work that I did so many years ago, and then, since, it was 150 people in the corporate world, but it's been, much larger numbers of people that have gone through this work, as women entrepreneurs. And that excites me. So your soul client attraction message matrix, this is something I just want to share with you. We start with your brand from the inside out, like who you are at your very essence. And then we get into your customer journey work. We're speaking your client's love language. And then we're getting into your one message for the world. So my clients go through work like this, where we're really building your brand from the inside out. And I've got an online course that I'll be sharing at the end of this that really walks you through how you can build all layers of this to really attract your ideal clients into your world. So this is all voice work. And here's the cool thing about this is that when we're finding clarity in our messaging, very often, we've got these stories that show up for us that are like, telling us like, who are you to own this? And, we all have limiting beliefs. I mean, do you guys I get limiting beliefs. If you get limiting beliefs, drop me in the chat. Because I definitely get limiting beliefs. And once we start to work through that, getting out of the limiting beliefs, we start to find clarity in our message, and we start to find confidence, we find strength and power, but we can still be projecting our message. And this is where and I know you've seen people on stages where they are just projecting their message. And they may have really good presentation skill sets, but they're just projecting and they're not really embodying their message. And there's this whole next level of adding the lights of who we are, adding that light of who you are, the brightness of you, the stories, the wisdom, everything that you bring, that we become this beacon of light. And when we land on this embodied leadership, like we know what our messages stand for, we know what we want people to do differently with our teachings, we become a movement. And that's the big change that I like to really, I think this is our advantage, is that we can own this light of who we are and just embody our messaging. And it's really, really powerful, right? So who is excited about being a movement in here? And I'm going to take a sip of water. Okay, so Dana talks about, she says, defining what I stand for in my industry has opened C-suite doors, resulting in more clients, more stages, and the ability to create a bigger impact. She's leading these wonderful executive exchanges right now, where she's bringing a lot of people, and both men and women, together in conversations in the aerospace and aviation industry by raising up her voice. So this is super powerful. She's becoming a movement. So as I look through this list of all of you wanting to be movement makers, right? This is what this work does. When you find clarity in what it is that you stand for, that's where we start to really break through into becoming movement makers like this. So it's super fun. Okay, so now we're going to move into the third area of today's section presentation today, and we're really going to start to build more know, love, and trust to get more yeses into your business. So we're creating this nurturing sales system, and this is our goal. Is like we're really bringing more people into our businesses, into our communities, and I'm a big believer in community. Like, how do we bring people in community together? And from that, what we can do is we can we're giving voice to create this relationships in the people who are around us. So we're building know, love, and trust. We're moving into that area. When we build more know, love, and trust in our businesses, we create repeatable, scalable marketing system that attracts your soul clients into your business. And we're building a nurturing sales system that brings in sales now, but also helps you build a pipeline into the future. And I can tell you this because I used to not ever have, as a coach, I used to not ever have a nice pipeline in front of me. And by really implementing some of what I'm going to be sharing with you today, I always have a pipeline of people who are wanting to work with me that's there in front of me. And it's really been a big shift in my business. And I want this kind of a shift for you. And then the third thing is it really simplifies and streamlines your marketing with repeatable assets. So I can tell you that what we're doing in planning for marketing in 2025 is much easier than what we were doing in 2024, and it's especially in 2023, because we actually have systems set up. We know what the rhythm is going to be of our approach to marketing in 2025. And this year, it's just about tweaking. It's about making it better. It's about delivering more value. And that's what I want you to get to as well. So we are going to dive in here. So, and this is something too, I think is important. Embracing a nurturing sales system isn't about boosting your numbers, isn't just about boosting your numbers. It's a commitment to nurturing a business that grows with joy, ease, and a profound impact on the clients you serve. You will create bigger impact with this. If you start to look at your approaches and your marketing approaches in your business, you will, you'll have a larger community. You will really you'll find more joy in what you're doing. So it's really, I'm a believer in this, obviously. So, okay. So what I call building a know, love, and trust ecosystem. I'm going to walk you through this. Marketing funnels have been around for a long, long time. And I like to look at marketing through a different lens. And I'll talk a little bit more about, I actually started at the bottom of this, and then we work our way up. And so I'm going to start at the bottom of this in this conversation. Well, I'm going to start at the top, but I will come back to why I like to look at this as an ecosystem, not just a funnel. Okay. So at the top of the funnel, where you are really starting to tap into other people's audiences, there's some marketing things that you can be doing. And I want you to, as I read some of these out, what I want you to think about is like, what are the ones that light me up, that get me excited? Do I like to write? Do I like to do video? Do I like to do podcasting? What are the things that light me up? So at the top of this, we are looking at tapping into other people's audiences. And it might be articles that you write for a magazine. It might be advertising. It might be PR. It might be paid social. We spend a lot of time in this area where it's either me on a stage or guest podcasting or roundtables. Those are some of the things that I like to put my focus on when I'm looking at what we do. And then in the middle of the funnel is so this is the no, people are getting to know you at this level. And then the love section is where people start to get to experience some of your teachings. So this is something, when I look at our marketing, this workshop that we're doing right now, this masterclass is something that falls into this category. And every other month this year, we will be doing some sort of a training that has we've just found that rhythm. And then on the other sides of them, on the flip sides, on the every other month. So like in February, we'll be doing a roundtable. So that's a model that we have taken here. And then as people come into our communities, this is like we invite them into, like, for example, my Ignite conference. We invite them into, something, a deeper conversation. One of my prosperity audits that I often do. They become part of my email list. And so then they're getting regular communications from me. They're getting weekly newsletters from me. And then, word of mouth, referrals, strategy calls all comes in down here as well. So this is ways that you can look at it. And I want you to think about what are the ways that you would like to be attracting people into your business. But here's something that I want you to think about that is different in marketing that I don't see other people doing. And is that we like to start nurturing the people that already are in our communities. That's where we start. We always start there, and then we build our way up that funnel. And it becomes an ecosystem because we work with the people who are, let me go back here. We work with, so we're starting here. We're like, who are the people that are already in my communities that have been coming to my events, that have been reaching out and been having conversations with? Let's nurture and let's love on them, and let's invite them into some of these educational places, educational assets that we've developed. And then new people coming in, let's invite them into the educational pieces. And so you become an ecosystem, and it starts from the bottom up. And but this is something to really think about when you're building this for yourself. So the bottom of the funnel is very much about nurturing and engaging your communities. And it, as I mentioned, it can be all these different ways that you're reaching out, you're having conversations with people, emails, direct messages, communities of connections. We've got my Extraordinary Women Connect community, right? That's an area that falls into it. And that's on Facebook, if you guys don't know that. Referral programs, sales calls and conversations, all of that falls in bottom of the funnel. Start here. So if you're starting to think of this new year, start thinking about this, like, how can I engage people who already know, love, and trust me? And that's the difference, right? Versus starting at the very top, where you're having to build all brand new relationships and put everything at the top. Where I want you to start is at the bottom. And so really think about how you're going to leverage and nurture the people in your communities for this new year. And then the middle of the funnel is about education. It's about bringing your teachings to the forefront. And that can be live streaming, it can be webinars, it can be workshops, it can be masterclasses, it can be retreats, it can be all sorts of things, right? It's like the way you're bringing your teachings to the table. And then, so think about how you want to. Don't do them all. Pick one and do it well, right? If you want to do webinars, if you want to do masterclasses, pick one and do it well. And then the top of the funnel is all about other people's audiences, really turning up your lead generation. And so that can be roundtables, speaking, guest podcasting, affiliate partnerships, PR, guest publishing, like in Forbes, for example, or advertising. Pick one, do it really well. So how are you bringing new people into your communities? So take a screenshot of this and then just jot down, what are the ways that you, and I'd love to hear in the chat box here, what will you do, and what do you want to commit to in number one, the bottom of your funnel, and really engaging your community? What do you want to do number two for education? Do you want to do, which one of these do you want to do? And what do you want to do at the top of the funnel? So let's hear from a few. Let's just drop into the chat what you guys are thinking. I know you're typing, so I'll give you just a moment on that. Co-lead a business mastermind in Parker, but how are you going to get them right there? How are you bringing those people into that Katie? Podcast for education. Good. I like that. Seminars for women to teach them more about education and investing. Awesome. I'm adding webinars, YouTube videos, and reaching out to real estate agents. Awesome. Starting with those in your community already. Awesome, Katie. I love that. That's perfect. So you can really start to build that out and have conversations, right? Remember, conversations create. So the more, and what I want you guys to do is don't overdo this. Don't put too many things in any one of these areas. Keep it pretty small. Podcasting for education. We've talked about that one. Where did we go here? 1, guest podcasting. 3, experiential workshops. Awesome. And actually guest podcasting would be 3. Yeah, got it. Up there is where that belongs. Joey, appreciate for those in my community via text and invite to connect with others like them. I like that. That's really good outreach. And then the educational piece, really be thinking that one through. Sam has got nurturing. I've got an event at the month's end, education, masterclasses, podcast, blogging. Yeah, good. Oh, thank you, Brenda. I appreciate that. Okay. So, but what I'm just going to reemphasize it one more time. Don't put 5 things in any one of these. Just put 1 or 2 in any one of these, because that is what's going to keep your marketing simple. So where are the breakthrough opportunities in your marketing? When you think about what you did in 2023 or 2024, good Lord, 2024, what's something that you're going to add to your marketing in 2025? What's one thing that you're going to add that is really going to be a breakthrough for you, whether it's in the bottom, the middle, or the top? And you can just put into the chat, bottom, middle, or top. What's going to be the breakthrough area that you want to put a focus on? Bottom. Cool. So you're going to be reaching out. Middle, bottom. Cool. Yeah. And it's so often, and when you think about this, so often people teach marketing, they're telling you to start at the top of the funnel. And what I'm telling you is right now, what you've got is you've got really good opportunity to work so deeply with the community that's already around you. And yes, add in the top so that you're tapping into other people's audiences. But if you're focused here, this will make a huge difference for you. So that's a good way to do it. So here's a couple things that we do, and I think that some suggestions on keeping this simple. Target 1 to 3 conversion events per quarter. But they're all pointing towards whatever your premium offer is. And that's a really important piece. It's like you're not sending them to 15 different offers, but you're actually sending them to a consistent space all the time so that your sales cycle becomes very consistent. And this is something that I teach when we get into the vision part of my work. It's like so often we have, I know people that have, and there was times in my business where I had way too many products in my business, but it's like the more you can simplify how many products you have, just having a few places that people can go to work with you, that's an important part of that journey with you, because you've gotten into your customer journey. You can repeat topics over the year. You can change titles up. You can, you're going to be bringing new people into your world. So you can repeat topics. You don't have to rebuild every single time. This talk here is something that we gave last year 2 times. Now we've tweaked it. We've made changes to it, but it's a core part of my teachings, right? So it's a core part of my offering. And too many different promotions will dilute your marketing efforts in a year. And then so you're repurposing your marketing assets as well as you create. So just really think through your quarters. We actually draw it out, we draw it out on a month-to-month basis, quarter by quarter. We're saying, okay, we're going to cover these topics over these different times. And if you look at our rhythm of our nurturing sales system is we do a round people to other people's audiences. Then I do a masterclass. We do a round table. We do my teachings. So this has become the rhythm, and we're really good at doing that. Our systems are built around it. So it works really well. So the next thing that I want to bring here is really starting to activate your nurturing sales system. And this is part of that visibility part as well. And you've got prospecting. You're bringing more people into your pot of people that want to work with you. You are saying, okay, here's some conversion events. You're really bringing them into some of your educational. They're starting to learn more about what you do. Then you nurture and you have conversations with those people. You go deeper into conversations with all of those people. And then the thing that's important about creating a nurturing system is about creating a commitment to yourself. How many points of contact are you going to make each day? We call them points of connection. So we're always into how many points of connection can we make each day? And it might be, as we talked about earlier today, it's like if we're making at least 5 a day, then that means that we are staying in connection with people who have come into my community, who wants to be in my community. I'm using it with influencers. I'm doing it with people who are collaboration partners. But it keeps me engaged. And 5 conversations per day is not a lot. It's not like I'm getting on an hour-long conversation with 5 people. It's points of connection. It's moments where we're just staying connected with people who really matter to us. So this is the components of creating a nurturing sales system, is that the more people you bring into your pot of prospects, you stay in touch with them. You invite them back into things that take them deeper into the journey with you. And if you go back to what we talked about early on, remember, this is people are consuming like 7 hours of your content before they're ever saying yes to you. So this is, a really important part of this. It's like how do you do that? And then one final part here is, what do you cut or eliminate in your business to give you time to spend on this important function in your business? And there's some things that I've already been just yesterday, I sent my EA, Jessica, I said, well, let's stop doing this and this and this, because the reason is because we want to put our focus on connections. And so it's like, what are the things that you can eliminate to give you time to spend on these important functions? Okay, some final notes on really building your know, love, and trust ecosystem. Look for the repeatable assets. What are tools that in your business that you can keep bringing people into conversations with you about your high value offer? So they might be trainings that you do. They might be lead magnets. It's like, what else can how do you keep those conversations going? Do you do a weekly newsletter? Are there things that, you keep those conversations going? What are your conversion events? What are the things that you're inviting people into your business? Build a natural upsell into the next level. Once you have people in one program, what's that next step that they can take with you that helps them go that next step? And then there's another step after that. And then too many products will dilute your marketing efforts. So if you're trying to market, 10 products, chances are you're always going from one space to another. What you want to be in that customer journey. So you're in that, what do they need right now? And then what's the next step they need? What's that next step they need? And you're not trying to recreate that customer journey because you've done all that customer journey work. Okay. So visibility is the fire in your growth. So, we've talked about, you put the vision of your business together, all the right packaging, the right pricing, and then you put all the work into your voice, getting out and getting visible, whether it's in your teachings, whether it's on stages, whether it's on guest podcasting, whatever that looks like. This is the fire in your growth. People have to be able to find you. And that's really important. And the good news is we have so many ways that we can get visible now, right? We can be, we can go live. We can do things like I'm doing right here. We can write books. We can do podcasts. We can be on stages. We have a wealth of tools available to us to be able to do this. And that's the beauty is, and once you find that what are the ways you're going to get visible, then you stay at it and you focus on that. So this is one of my clients from last year. She actually won my Fire Dancer Award winner last year at my Extraordinary Women Ignite conference. And this past year, her business experienced a significant leap into the 6 figures plus. So well into 6 figures, growing her revenue by 30% over last year. Visibility ignited the flame in her business, and she guested on podcasts each month, and she stepped on stages across the nation. And she's now hosting regular online trainings that are bringing new clients into her door each time. In fact, her very first masterclass the trainings that I teach and how to do masterclasses, she resulted in 16% of her attendees enrolling into her program, which I was like so excited about that, right? So this was a fun one to see. Thank you for that, Sam. I really appreciate that. So each one of those strategies is really powerful, but the magic happens when you put all three of these together, right? When you're really getting into the customer journey work, you're creating the messages that matter, and you're really building the systems, the marketing systems, the know, love, and trust ecosystem that keeps people coming into your business and bringing more regular clients. There's one more thing that you've got to have when you're building your voice out, and that's really about building your brand from the inside out. And it's really important. I think that there's so many people doing what you do out there. Building your brand from the inside out is about owning your unique fire. And it's like bringing all of your stories, your life experiences to life, because you're unique and what you bring is really important. Starts to really eliminate competition because there's no one just like you. This is really important because when you build your brand from your strengths, your passions, your values, your stories, you get to the essence of you, and then you get to the essence of your brand, and you're uniquely you, and nobody can be just like you. It activates your genius, and it's really when you build your brand from within, you unlock more innovation and creativity, because you're starting to be like, okay, this is what I'm really good at, and what if I added this into what I offer so that it fits? It's like you're bringing your life experiences and what, for example, I'll give you one of my genius areas is I do equine vision journey retreats. I get to integrate that into my work with my clients because it's something unique and different. And there's not a lot of business coaches that do that sort of thing, right? And so it's like, what is your unique genius that you can bring into it? Do you love art? Do you love music? I was talking with somebody the other day who really wanted to bring more of their music to life in their work. That's the beauty of that. And it really creates a lasting legacy when you build your brand from the inside out. So do that inner work of who are you? Who are you at your very best? Listen to what others say about your best genius gifts, and really integrate that into your brand. Because when you show up naturally as you, it builds trust and credibility. If you're showing up fully as you, there's nobody that can be just like you. And it's such a beautiful way to approach that. So just to recap what we've talked about, what you've learned today. You've learned that speaking your client's love language will attract more soul clients into your business. You've learned that raising up your thought leadership message and presence will open more doors for you. You will get on more stages. You'll be known as the go-to expert in your field. And then you learned how to build a nurturing sales system with a know, love, and trust marketing approach to really generate more soul clients in your business. So you find that rhythm in your business, and it creates more time prosperity in your business because you find systems that work for you. So that's your client's journey to you. I'd like to invite you guys into a 90-day, a 3-month program that's called the Soul Marketing Course. We are launching it this month, and it's there's some online components, there's some group components to it, and Jessica's going to drop in the link here to where you can go get this. And what this is a course that takes what we've learned today. It walks you through all of those 3 areas in depth. And we do this, and you'll do it in community. You will do this in a group setting to really be able to get more deeply into what your message is, what your brand is. It will help you amplify your voice and your visibility. It's really going to position you as that go-to brand in your space. We'll go much deeper into the marketing insights and how to really tailor these marketing strategies to your business that's going to work best for you to grow the number of clients coming in your business and increase your revenue. What's inside Soul Marketing? So there's 6 modules to it, and then there's 6 modules, and then there's 3 group coaching sessions on top of that. There's also a community to really support you on this. In module number 1, we're going to go through raising up the essence of you. So really becoming, like, building that from the inside out, who you are, and how does that roll into the brand of you, which is what we'll go into in module number 2. How do you take that essence of you and roll it into the brand of you? Then module 3 will really get into the customer journey. So you're building that brand from the inside out, like it really aligning with your ideal clients and what the language that you use, and speaking your client's love language. We will get into raising up your voice, becoming the go-to expert in developing your one message for the world. We will get into visibility and building a know, love, and trust marketing approach in your business. So you're building that system. And then you're raising up your visibility, really expanding your reach to attract more soul clients. And we'll get into building your podcast one sheet, your speaking one sheet. So you'll walk away with tools to really, amplify your voice. And you'll get a private coaching session with me in this program as well. And the new this year, I mean, this is a program that we are rewriting right now as we speak. I ran a program called Marketing Mastery for many years, but I have completely rewritten it to really fit into today's time, because today is different than it was when this program was originally written. So I have completely rewritten it. And one part of this is that we're building your own soul client brand bot. So that you're really leveraging AI in a way that brings your voice to life. And it's not just, using a AI in a way that is just, I think there's a lot of people that you can recognize the AI that's out there that just is not very high value content. What this will do when we go through the essence of you and bring all of this information into it, it really starts to bring your voice to life. And so we're building a brand bot while we're going through this class. So what you'll gain through this is you'll get some aligned marketing strategies that really align to you. You'll get more consistent client attraction, and you're going to be enhancing your visibility. And you'll be creating a new business vibe, right? Like you'll really be approaching your business with a more feminine, collaborative energy. So this course it's a rockin' deal on this right now, because I am in the process of rewriting this. Next time I run this is at least going to be double from what it is right now. So one-time payment through this Friday only is $1,200, or you can do three payments of $500 for $1,500. The first 2 people who enroll today are going to receive a private one-on-one prosperity audit session with me. And we will go through your vision, voice, and visibility, and really, understand where you are in your business with that. So that's a lot of fun to do. And you actually get a written report from that prosperity audit that is really useful. So the other piece about this is your entrepreneur journey. You are really unique. And I don't just teach like you have to do it this way, and that's the only way you can do it. And I see that happening a lot. We build a path that really brings all of you to life, that, we start from the inside out. And I've got proven tools and frameworks to help you do that. I've got powerful community to support you. And, your journey is unique. And so I like to work with you in that sort of way. So join us. This is the link to the Soul Marketing course. And, this is just a way that we can really start to build your business that's aligned with your soul. We can say goodbye to the pain-based marketing and hello to a brand that really uplifts your clients in a way, speaking your clients' love language. You'll choose the right platforms for your business that creates impact and attracts more clients into your business. And you'll voice your unique message that stands you out from the crowd, that helps you, that one message from the world. You'll create that and become the go-to leader in your space with consistent message across your marketing. So, and you have me as your mentor and guide. I would love to do that. And Sue, I'm so excited that you are doing this. And Sam, this is a really, thank you for that. Thank you for that. So a couple clients, and I've got clients already saying things on here, so I'm going to not even go into this. I'm going to skip over this. It's your time, my friends. I would love to do this work with you, and come join us. Come join this course with me. We're going to have 90 days together. We've got the course. We've got some people. I know Sue's already signed up for it, and and Dr. Sam's going through it as well. And so it's going to be a lot of fun to share this work and give you these tools in a way that can take your business to a new level. in this new year. So here's my last words for you, some values that I want to bring. You were born to create impact. Your message matters. I believe that every single one of you in this circle, really your work is, you're being called to do this work. So jump and get your voice out in bigger ways this year. Don't play small this year. Make your voice really matter. The other piece here is your soul work is as important as your strategy work. I want you to really dive into this and go, okay, it's like, listen to that inner wisdom. And as you're developing your messaging for this new year, listen to the inner wisdom, and then you put the strategy alongside of it. But that my work is all designed to really weave both of those together. And I think that's really important for me. And then connections create. Go have conversations. You have so many conversations that you can have right now. I'm excited to see what, conversations will create for you in 2025. And your business is ready and you're ready. It's your time. Let's go step into this. So join us in the Soul Marketing course. I would love to have you guys there. We have a good group forming. Some of the people in my mastermind program are also joining in. So we've got a really nice group forming. You're going to be with a lot of powerful women, and you're going to be getting lots of good teachings to really bring your voice to life. So with that, that's all I've got for today. And thanks, Sue. It's great to see you here. And thanks for everyone who joined in. And we will see you soon. And here's to a rockin' 2025 for all of you. Bye, everyone.